What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate support. Violence is a universal thing. Happens in every country, and there's different degrees of it, from the most heinous to minor. But earlier I did a video about a Indian media outlet, that trashed the US about the crime of not giving the motel beheading out there in Dallas, Texas, of an Indian motel manager stabbed to death by a migrant from Cuba, illegally in the country supposedly, with a machete in front of his wife and kid. He went off, he talked about how America was crazy, and a lot of stuff he said was true. But you can tell the way he was doing it in the media. It was basically one-sided of how come this didn't get the publicity that Charlie Kirk and the Zarina Aruska, North Carolina train stabbing got. And I was listening to him, and you're seeing he was trying to point it in a certain direction. But one of the biggest things he was saying, and I agree with, is how violent America is. But, sir, if you are the voice of India, in my humble opinion, the pot cannot call the kettle black. Because in your country, besides having a lot of poverty, right, and this is known, this ain't no crazy talk, y'all, the level of rape, sexual assault, domestic abuse is extremely high in your country. So you can't just point out that and talk about how bad America is when a lot of people over there is fleeing to try to come to this place of excessive violence that you talk about. And I'm just being real. Look at this video that is from the same news outlet out there. And I talk about domestic violence on my channel, namely in America, but this is a common occurrence all over. There are places where women are trying to come to violent America, quote unquote, for asylum because of violence brought upon them in other countries. Let's keep it real. Guatemala, China, a lot of people don't know that. Them women be getting the kung fu shit kicked out of them over there. A lot of other places. Yeah, America's bad, but it has some qualities that people are willing to trek thousands of miles to get to and take advantage of. Even though a lot of people in this country don't take advantage of those same things themselves. But life is life. Reality is reality. And make sure your bathroom's clean before you talk about how shitty somebody else's is. Take a look at this.
He shot his live-in partner on the face multiple times while the public watched in horror. The victim, on the busy road, was lying helpless and almost dead. A horrific and gruesome murder unfolded on the busy road of Gwalior, where a man shot his live-in partner multiple times in the face. Accused Arvind stopped his girlfriend Nandini right in front of the iconic Roop Singh Stadium, then pulled out a pistol and fired multiple bullets into her face. Witnesses say the scene was nothing short of terrifying. After shooting Nandini at point-blank range, Arvind sat beside the blood-soaked body, swinging his gun and daring anyone to come close. When the police arrived at the spot, Arvind also pointed gun at them, which only escalated the matter. After a tense standoff, he was overpowered, beaten by the police and arrested. Nandini, critically injured and bleeding profusely, was rushed to a hospital where she was declared dead during the treatment. There is a toxic and abusive history of the accused Arvind. Records show Nandini had filed multiple complaints against Arvind. Nandini accused Arvind of hiding his first marriage and children, and that he also married Nandini deceitfully. In November 2024, she accused him and an associate, Pooja Parihar, of attacking her. She also survived an alleged murder attempt when Arvind tried to run her over with a car. Though arrested, Arvind secured a bail and the cycle of abuse continued. Arvind and Pooja were circulating AI-generated pornographic videos and obscene images of her on social media. She claimed Arvind had threatened to kill her if she resisted his advances. Just days before her death, on September 9th, Nandini had walked into the SP's office with fresh allegations. And on the day Nandini was killed in the most brutal fashion possible, she was on her way to SP's office. This is Yasharth Rai for NDTV.
All right, you seen that. And somebody got brutally murdered in the street. Johnny Blaze to the face, man and woman. Domestic issue. Now that's saying living partner. I'm looking at these comments. A lot of them are in Indian that I had to translate to English. And one of them, they're bashing the media out there. And it says, listen to this. It says, the girl that you seen shot, it says, the reporter has told a made-up story with added spice. Now, I translated this from Indian. The girl herself has been married 3 times before. She has gone to jail in the murder case. So why would the boy shoot without reason? And it says NDTV is trash, is crap. Now this person is from over there. I don't know how true this is or not, but every country has their own share of problems and bullshit going on. That type of stuff happens over here sometimes. It happens in other places, other countries. Women getting their asses beaten and killed in the street. Hell, over here, that happens to men sometimes. And I got a story for you. I'll show you later on today. But this is the thing. When I did that story earlier and the guy was going off of how bad America was and this and that and this, it is what it is all over the world. Everybody has their own share of problems. India has its own share of problems, whether it's poverty, different types of class, what do you call it, caste system. But they do what works for them. And violence still ensues in all countries. Whether it's India or America, bullshit is bullshit. Shouldn't be tolerated. You know what I'm saying? This shit right here, what they was talking about in the video, the guy made adult movies with the girl and put them out on social media. She ran to this. She was trying to get protection from the police and all of this type of stuff. I don't know how their system is set up as far as law enforcement and what you can and can't do when you getting your ass whipped as a woman or getting threatened or done wrongly by a man over there. I don't know about that, so I'm not going to speak about that. But what I do know is what happened to her could happen over here to her in America. So it ain't no different. So in all due respect, yeah, you said some cool shit. You know, this media outlet that I'm talking about said some cool shit that made sense in another video I did. But in this video right here, the verdict is still out of who's right and who's wrong, even though she shouldn't have been killed. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. People, they have bullshit all over the place in all other countries. Violence is a universal thing. You know what I'm saying? But you know what else is universal? Accountability and understanding. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.